Okay, I get it. We're supposed to share the love. But when it comes to 2 breakfast croissants for $4 from Jack in the Box, sometimes you need to share with someone who really looks out for you. That would be you. Who bought you those 2 croissants anyway? You did. Well done, you. Gold star. Go ahead, share it with yourself. Get 2 buttery croissants with freshly cracked eggs and your choice of sausage or grilled bacon and ham for $4, only at Jack in the Box. Home of breakfast served all day. Limited time only. Price and participation may vary. Tax not included.
It's ferocious. I want your heart. I want to eat his children.
Good evening, everybody. It's Wednesday night, and it's time for another installment of the Ruckus podcast. I'm your girl, Jay. Joining me, of course, is RB. We got a great show planned for this Wednesday night. Joining us is Demetrius Andrade, fresh off of a very, very impressive victory against Willie Nelson. And we'll also be joined by John Molina Jr., also off a very impressive victory against Ruslan Provodnikov. Who knew that was going to happen? So great victories. Looking forward to seeing those guys join us tonight on the show. We'll get into all that and see what they're up to. And, you know, we like to have fun on the Ruckus, so chat with them a little bit about that. But before we get started, today is June 15th. And on June 15th, somebody came into this world. So before I bring on my co-host, I got to play this from my co-host.
Hey, bro! Go, Sheila, it's your birthday. Go, Sheila, it's your birthday. Go, Birdie, it's your birthday. Go, Birdie, it's your birthday. Go, Anna, it's your birthday. Go, Anna, it's your birthday. Go, Derek, it's your birthday. Go, Derek, it's your birthday.
So that's right. If you are listening to the show tonight, it is RB's birthday. Everybody clap one time from your computers for RB's birthday, June 15th. If you're listening, if you're on Twitter, make sure you tweet at Raging Babe your birthday wishes right now. If you follow her and she follows you, don't slide in her DMs. It's her birthday, but she's not drunk because we got stuff to do, but, you know, we may be later. So with all that fanfare, let me bring in my girl, RB. What's up, RB?
Hey, Jay, thank you so much. I've gotten an overwhelming amount of messages today and DMs and texts and phone calls wishing me happy birthday and just mad love to everybody. I couldn't respond to everybody, but it was much appreciated. The funniest message I got today was from Julian J. Rock Williams, and he was like, hey, RB, enjoy your 25th birthday, live it up. And I was like, I know that's right, 25.
Big 25, the big 25. How does it feel to be 25?
Oh, it feels great. I'm in my prime.
That's right. So, again, this is the Ruckus. If you want to call into the show, maybe if we have some time, we'll take some callers in the end. If you want to call in and serenade RB tonight for her birthday, the call-in number is 718-508-9852. And make sure you press 1 so that you can serenade RB for her birthday. Oh, and talk boxing, too.
Yeah, you know, I want to say that it was not easy to get Demetrius Andrade booked on our show tonight. He's not doing a lot of media, as you can see. You know, you haven't seen a lot of interviews with him. You haven't seen him on a lot of talk shows. And we just stayed really, really persistent. And he knows that we go way back from him. Jay, me and you were talking to him back in like 2013, 2014. And, you know, those fighters, they remember things like that. So it wasn't easy getting them. But shout out to Mark Abrams from Banner Promotions and our boy Johnny Ortiz over there in Philly for making it happen. Mad love.
Yes, mad love, mad love. So we are definitely looking forward to talking with him. Before we await our guests, or actually, you know what? Before we jump into a few topics, let's bring on our other guy, Jake Donovan, Jake in the Box. What's going on, Jake?
Hey, Jay. How you doing? Michelle, happy birthday. Hope it's been a great day for you.
Thank you. We are so glad to have you on tonight. For our listeners, we have a segment on our show called Jake's Take with Jake Donovan, and he catches us up on all the latest news out there, all the behind-the-scenes stuff going on that you may not hear or see in a write-up. And so he'll be bringing us a lot of juice here tonight and updating us on the recent court cases. And he was out there today in Alabama for Wilder's press conference, and he's got a lot of good stuff to share with us.
Absolutely.
And always. And how about a little without fully disclosing what you're going to talk about, Jake, how about a little teaser for what's coming up later in the show?
Okay, I guess a little tease. I mean, we'll be touching on just what awaits Canelo, in the future now that he's finally got the test behind him. Deontay Wilder is moving on from a very difficult situation, and it was weird just, seeing him today at the press conference. It's just a different Deontay Wilder. Hopefully it translates to the old Deontay Wilder returning to the ring in July. So that's what we can expect in the coming hour. In the coming hour, I guess.
Why wasn't Chris
Excellent.
Arreola out? I mean, was it that serious that he couldn't jump on a plane and get out there? We'll probably talk about this later, but real quick before Andrade calls in.
There was no real explanation as to why Arreola. I guess the expectation was that he was never going to be there. I know oftentimes when a press conference is in a fighter's hometown, it seemed like they had, a bit of time to prepare for this. So I honestly don't know why he wasn't there. But often it's usually just the hometown fighters at the press conference. Often the other side isn't represented. It seemed like Arreola could have been there, but for whatever reason, the plan all along was just to have him in via Skype interview, which seems to be Al's flavor of this lately. I mean, we saw Keith Thurman doing an interview from a parking lot in Florida during the South TV show last week. For a show, he was 45 minutes away from where the show took place, but for whatever reason, they felt Skype was the way to go. So who am I to argue?
Crazy. Hey, what can you do? What can you do? As we await our guests, let's see. Some news stories that are popping up. Amir Khan and Artur Beterbiev are skipping out on the Olympics. Oh, I know that some of you are so disappointed in that. But those two guys, if you wanted to see the welterweight, middleweight, whatever Khan is campaigning at these days, and Beterbiev, if you were looking to see them in the ring, they're not going to be in the ring. Povetkin is going to maintain his mandatory position until the investigation ends, and we'll talk about PBC being back on ESPN in July. So without further ado, it looks like our first guest is in the queue. Let's bring him on in.
Hello.
Is this
Hello.
Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade?
Yes, this is the one and only.
Oh, since you're coming in, Andrade, I have to give you some proper music. I heard this was your jam.
Wait, say it again.
We heard this is your jam.
Oh, yeah, definitely my jam. Oh, yeah. Uh-huh.
Yeah, we knew you were coming in.
Don't let me fight one of them boys, because I'll take the whole nation down to the ground. Oh.
Well, keep going. You was flowing. Keep going.
Oh.
Keep going. Don't stop.
Like my man Nas said, fuck Jay-Z.
Oh.
Wow. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we are joined by Demetrius Boo Boo Andrade, live and direct, fresh off of a big, big victory on Showtime. It sounds like you good, man. I would ask how you doing, but you sound like you good.
Yeah, man. I'm great. With everything, just life, just picking up where I left off at, and just being able to, perform and getting the opportunity to be back on Showtime is a great feeling.
Yeah, look, we were really, really happy to see you back. We know you had to get through a lot of stuff to get where you were Saturday night, with politics and promoter stuff, and we're not even going to get into all that. But the good news is that you got through it, and I feel like it's almost a blessing in disguise. When you ended up on Showtime, you felt really Nelson, who was not a person. Like, he's an adorable, adorable guy, and you looked so fresh the other night. And I have to ask you, how were you able to shake the ground and not show any ring rust? That's amazing.
Just mentally knowing that I am the greatest, and physically doing all the things that I needed to do to be able to, perform at that level. I took the time that I had off due to, the politics and all the other stuff, just watching previous fights and seeing where I could capitalize on certain situations in the ring, being undefeated and, knowing, what's at stake when you're, black African American, a black man in the sport of boxing, a loss can hurt you. Just looking back at my fights and just, seeing how cautious I was, and I would just, win the fight if I just had it and just cruise and wasn't look. If it came, it came. If it didn't, But then I realized that's not what the fans, and I can do much more, and that's not what the fans want to see. They want to see, action when it's time for action. And so I look back at the fights, I see where I could, put more punches together here, put more punches together there, and it just started becoming more naturally to me, and just in the gym, training hard, sparring, and staying focused, and knowing at the end of the day somebody's going to knock on the door to try to, come get the champ, and the opportunity was going to come knock. So I just stayed in the gym, stay focused, put God first and my family, and just make sure that I shine the way I shined June 11th.
That must have taken a lot of faith, because you've only fought, 2 times the past couple of years, and then you came back. And to me, Demetrius, you look so much meaner and nastier. Like, you dropped the dude 4 times, and when you saw him hurt, you went for the kill. It was a different fight for you. And I just thought, wow, look at that hunger he came back. You received a lot of praise on social media. Before in the past, let's keep it real, people were like, oh, boo-boo's boring, boo-boo this, and you were receiving so much praise. They're now saying that you could beat anybody in your division, that you are the best in your division. How good does that now feel, that people see that?
Nah, it feels good, it does feel good. Like, me, who I am and what I'm capable of doing, I always see that, and I always felt that way, so that's why I always talk the way I talk, and, I also back it up because I am undefeated. But, like I said, man, just the whole Rock Nation thing, other things that happened, and, the path that was laid out in front of me, I was just like, man, whoever, from now on, and whoever, they're getting their ass whooped for the shit I have to go through in this boxing world to just make sure I can eat. I'm going to destroy everything in my path from round 1 to round 12. Like, we're not playing no games. There's none of that. There's none of that no more. It's time to be a force to be reckoned with, man. Like, it's that time. I'm coming into my man strength, the maturity, knowing the business, just all that time, man, I just became another animal, exactly, and it's definitely showed off.
No, it did, and you brought up Rock Nation. We weren't going to bring it up too much, but you almost feel like this was a blessing in disguise because, Rock Nation really hasn't done much. I mean, they put a lot of their fighters on other people's cards, and they're fighting like on BET once in a while. I mean, I don't know if you would have gotten the exposure if you would have went over there that you think maybe you would have got.
I mean, that's a great possibility to look at it that way, and I do take that as a blessing in disguise, and also what it has done for me mentally, just becoming a stronger person, mentally and physically, and just knowing that there's only one person that's going to get the job done, and that's me.
That's right. So, look, I saw you tweeting and putting on Instagram that you have 18 promotions. What is that all about, or is that just for tax write-off purposes?
I mean, of course, everybody should have, if you're a fighter, I believe everybody should have some type of business so they can, get that done, because you don't want to be getting hit with all types of taxes and paying all types of dues. You need write-offs. Be smart about it. Talk to somebody. But 18 promotion is real. A couple more fights, a couple more dollars in the bank account. We will be signing fighters and throwing fights ourselves, and it's going down. We, like I said, I took the time. I educated myself with the business, and I'm taking them steps forward to be great and also do what it is to do to invest my money and make sure that if I don't box again, I can be okay.
That's what's up. Now, Demetrius, you are a friend of the Ruckus Show. We've had you on a few times. It's been a little bit, but we've been with you at least 2 or 3 times in the past. The last time we spoke to you in 2014, the Charlos weren't champions then. Kirkland hadn't been knocked out by Canelo, and Cotto was still a champion. Charlos went life and death with Trout, and now here we are in a situation where now you are the mandatory to the Jermell Charlo. Do you know the difference between the Charlos? Can you tell them apart?
Right now, one got long hair, one got short hair. You know, and they still look like fools. Especially, you're sitting there, you're getting outboxed by somebody that doesn't know how to actually box, and and the other guy getting hit with all types of left hands by somebody short. And no disrespect to Austin Trout, but an older guy. Like, come on now.
Also, when we talked to you before, you said you didn't know who Julian Williams was. Do you know who he is now?
I have seen his last fight where he fought a guy that was the same type of caliber guy that I fought in October that I put out in 2 rounds, and it took him about 8 rounds. But yeah, I know who he is. Yes.
All right. Well, now here we are in 2016. You are the mandatory, as I mentioned, to Jermell Charlo. Every time we've ever spoken to you over the years, you say you are interested in belts. You want belts, belts, belts. In your recent interviews, you said you want to fight anybody who starts with C and ends with O. So of the Charlos, Canelo, and Cotto, the only people who have the belts are the Charlos. Is that the fight you want, or are you looking to go other routes? Or tell me your thoughts on that.
I mean, if I could just be like, oh, my next fight's going to be, but it's not going to be, so I have to be realistic, with the question that you asked. But on the other side, I would like to get in there with Canelo. Canelo is the guy that will put me super high. You know what I'm saying? Willie Nelson helped me become a star, and Canelo definitely make me that mega superstar. Charlo brothers, they, like I said before, like they now have something that is worth fighting for. They have grown as far as winning more fights and being a little bit known, and now they have belts. But that's not where the big change at. And yes, the people want to see it because of what happened in the past between us and the trash talk and stuff like that. So yeah, I want to go and let them know that the Lions Den ain't going to last too long when Demetrius Andrade come through.
Yeah, I think a couple years ago you still had that old school mentality, and now we see today that belts really don't matter as much. You see people vacating them all the time. They losing their belt on the scale. So yeah, the big money fight is Canelo, even though he doesn't have that strap. So out of the Charlos, Canelo, and Cotto, which fight do you think would be the easiest one to make? Like realistically, which one could happen before the other? Just because
right now I'm in line to fight for the WBC that Charlo has. So that's the tournament that we have, and that's the fight that is supposed to be made. So if he beats Charles Hatley, he has to fight me. If not, then the belt has to go up in the air.
Who would make for the easiest work out of them?
Oh, okay. You asking who's the easiest guy?
Yeah, now I'm asking that. Who's the easiest work out of them?
I mean, I think they're both 2 different fighting styles, and I think it'll be the same, man. Like, I think it's a one night for both of them. Like your boy was getting hit with left hands all day by Austin Trout. Like, damn, son. Like, how is that possible? And then you're getting outboxed by John Jackson that doesn't know how to box.
Tell us how you really feel.
I gave you all that in one night from round 1 to round 12. So I'll beat both of them in the same night, man. It's whatever. Like, it's going to be easy work, man, because they're going to stand there. They're not fluent like I am. And, I'm letting them things go.
So how confident are you that you're going to get your shot with Charlo after he has the Hatley fight? Given your past history, are you confident you're going to get that shot, or do you think they'll try to step around you?
I mean, it's possible they might try to save him, you know? Mm-hmm. It's a possibility. But we're still young. We're still, you know, at 154, 160, like that. Like, we're going to be around for a while. So that fight is going to happen. It's going to happen sooner or later. If it don't happen now, it's going to happen later. Like, I want that fight because I don't like them. I don't like those guys. Like, as far as boxing, when I get in the ring with them, I'm going for the kill. Like, that's what I'm going for when I step into the ring with them Tyler boys, man.
At one time, you were scheduled to fight one of them. I can't remember which one, and for whatever reason, we don't got to get into that. You pulled out of that fight. Do you think Al Haymon is going to hold that against you now? You know, with fighting one of the Charlos, do you think you can make that fight, or do you think Al's a little bitter because of the way you pulled out of that fight the first time?
All right, you have to repeat that because it was a little staticky. Can you say that again?
I was saying, at one time you were going to fight one of the Charlos, and for whatever reason you had to pull out of that fight. Do you think Al Haymon would hold that against you now and maybe not allow that Charlo fight to happen?
Nah, because I don't think Al will do something like that because at the end of the day, you know, there's so many great good top fighters at the 154-pounder, so he has to make that fight happen. Like, that fight has to happen. It's like you mentioned the belt things. Like, you know, back in the days, everybody wanted to chase belts, and now, you know, it's all about the, you know, who's popular. But when I come home, I would like to see all the belts. You know what I'm saying? I want to see my trophy case with WC, IPF, WBO, WBA. I want to see that. I want that. That's what I visualize. So I'm going to chase the belt regardless, but I hope Al Haymon doesn't do anything like that. And if Al Haymon is like, hey, Demetrius, let me go get some of your cups, then we'll make that fight happen. I was like, you're damn right, sir. You can have that. Let's go. Like, it's a no-brainer. We're gonna make it happen because the boxing fans and the boxing supporters and people that want to see good fights want to see that fight happen.
Well, let's talk about some other things that you are good at and lighten it up a little. Well, you keep it light and you keep it lively. As we saw at the top of the show, we know that you like to get your bars in. And the last time you were on the show, we had minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes and minutes of you dropping bars from us. Do you remember your full freestyle from when you were here before? Do I need to remind you?
I mean, it just comes off the top, you know. Well, but yeah, it was definitely a fun time spitting them bars. I mean, you know, it's just something that I'm a comedian. You know what I'm saying? I like to smile, laugh, and have a good time. So it's whatever when the moment's right. Not even when the moment, on the spot. Whatever you want to do, let's do it for the time being. But.
Oh. That didn't take much coaxing at all. Before we get you to spit, I'm going to bring your ether back for you. What do you think of Adrian Broner's rhyme saying? You know, he's got some songs out there. He's rocking with Maybach music. What do you think about Adrian Broner on the Hot 16?
I mean, it's entertaining, you know. I mean, he's an entertaining guy. It's funny to watch a 140, about 4'5", sitting there trying to rap with his jewelry on. Like, yeah, no neck and shit. Like, yeah, that's right. Yeah. Like, that's it. That's just pretty funny to me.
You think he got a future in the rap game after boxing? Like, he's putting a lot of money into this rap game. Like, for real, studio time, videos, photo shoots. Like, he's going all out.
I mean, you know, I'm not gonna knock him down or anything like that. He might be have some good ghost fighters out there. You know what I'm saying? So you pay somebody to take up some songs and shit, be hot, and he's one hit wonder. But you know what I mean? If that's his hobby, that's what he likes to do, and he's living the life the way he wants to live the life, I'm all for it. You know what I'm saying? Look at De La Hoya and Pacquiao. Like, it can't be that bad.
Sure. Okay, for our listeners, before we get you to spit some new bars, before we wrap it up, I'm gonna play your first freestyle when you were here. Here we go. Let's see what
started
you did.
when I was 6 years old, like it was nothing. I was in the gym running around like it was something. Jumping on the bag, acting like Steve Austin. DDT my brother, now he got a bloody note. Now he wants to beat me up. Shit, damn, I gotta go. Daddy, help me, get the belt and tell Big Mike to stop trying to hurt me. I developed the skills and talent, took it to the Olympics like, yeah, what's happening? I'm here, I'm black, so what's happening?
Bars.
Yes.
Bars.
5 months.
Bars. Are you ready to take it on the road?
That's funny.
Oh, we got another one too.
Oh, we got more. You didn't stop there. You didn't stop there.
From the USA, all around the world, here I go, winning big tournaments. Now I turn pro, and they still scared of the boy, the most fierce one. In the amateurs, now in the pros. Hey, Demetrius, Andrade, there he goes. See him. Let me go and meet him. Let me stop. Yeah, real life stuff, man.
All right, so Andre, since you came back in the ring so strong in your fight against Willie Nelson, are you ready to give the bars another opportunity if I give you a little beat to rhyme over tonight?
You know.
All right, let me see what I got. Let me see what I got here in the deck for you. Let's see what we got.
Hold on. Wait. It's kind of low. I don't hear anything right now.
Stop, Jay. Turn it up, Jay.
I don't hear nothing. Oh, okay. All right, I hear something. What's that? Dun, dun. Oh shit. Let's see. They was talking mad shit, saying I ain't about to do shit. I ain't shit. Damn. Who, me? Shit. Damn. I fooled them. I stayed on the grind. I fooled them. Yeah. It's about my time. June 11th, we show out. What's the mask? Now we're going out. Hawaii. Hey. Where my ladies at? Hey. Then I get that cool laptop.
All right, Demetrius, you are a good sport. You are a fun guy. I never did get my drop for the show, so I'm going to still hit you up to get the drop for the show.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. Before we let you go, when do you anticipate being back in the ring? This fall, this winter, once or twice? Give us a little something before we let you go.
Wait, say that one more time?
When do you expect to be back in the ring this year? In the fall, the winter?
I'm hopefully by the winter, the latest. We're gonna sit down, figure out what's the best option because we want to make sure that we're not waiting. Well, I don't want to wait for that Charles Hatley and Charlo fight to happen because. If that's the case, I won't be fighting until 2017 March or something like that. So,
right about that.
So we definitely been already on the horn, making sure that what opponents we can put together that's going to be a good fight for the fans, and we can. I would like to get in there with Lima, whatever his name is, Smith, and got that WBO. If I could get that fight, whoop his ass, take that belt back, fight Charlo, is one belt against the other, just unify that. That's something I would like to do.
That sounds like
you heard it here.
That's the ultimate plan right there. Like that's the. That's what I would like to see.
All right. Well, you
And
know,
then
Raging Babe is a promoter.
Oh yeah. Well, make it happen. Make it happen. You know what I'm saying? Then I mean, I heard. I gotta look at it. There's another guy from Germany that got the real WBA, because whoever got like some super belt or something like that, some sort. So I think that would be the Lima Smith dude. Get my belt back, dust him off, and then, unify the WBC and the WBO. They don't get no better than that.
There it is.
Your boy.
All right.
Your boy.
Go ahead.
I said, it's your boy. It's your boy.
That's right. All right, boo-boo. Well, as usual, it is a pleasure rocking with you. Don't go missing in action again. We don't want to see you back in the ring in like 2019, okay?
Yeah. Hey, I was like, as soon as I got the ring, took my, the drug test, took my wraps off. I was like, yo, get me to the TV right now. I got to see this shit. I got to see. Get the popcorn, get the soda, shit. I gotta watch it. That's what you're gonna expect that every time Demetrius and Andrade steps into the ring.
All right, look, it wasn't easy getting you on tonight, but we appreciate it. We know you're not doing a whole ton of media, but mad love to you for coming on, and we hope to speak to you soon and keep us posted on when you'll be back.
Oh yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. God bless you guys. Thanks for supporting boxing and and everything you do.
Remember where you have the most fun, right on the Ruckus.
All right, cool.
All right, have a good night.
Take care.
You too.
All right, we'll go take a quick that guy. You gotta love the guy. How could you not love the guy? Let's take a quick break and we'll be back with John Molina.
When the mind is ready, the body prepares for war. So next time you engage in battle, protect your hands with the best. War Tape, the original branded tape. Order yours now at wartapebrand.com and see why the enemy will fear you. wartapebrand.com. We put hands on you.
All right, and we are back. You are listening to the Ruckus Podcast. Shout out to Boo Boo Boxing. He is always on fire whenever he comes on the show. So it is a pleasure to have him with us. If you haven't had a chance to watch the fight, I'm not sure if Showtime is going to repeat the fight, but you can at least see the highlights. If you go to Show Sports' YouTube channel, you can see the highlights from the fight, and it was a great one. Oh, and it looks like our next guest is now in the queue. Let's bring on John Molina Jr. John Molina Jr., you are on with the Ruckus.
How you guys doing?
Great. How are you doing tonight?
Good. Just enjoying my time off with the family. Everyone knows that I'm a big family man, so spending some time with my girls.
No.
That's terrific and well earned and well deserved. Once again, a pleasure having you with us this evening.
Thank you. Thank you guys for having me.
So, John, big fight on Saturday. You fought Ruslan Pravnikov. Everybody expected you to be in a phone booth war because that's what we're used to seeing with you. And instead, you went in there and outboxed him. I mean, you boxed his ears off. That must have been a new game strategy. Is that partly due to your new trainer?
I would think that was hugely due to my new trainer. We got to give credit where credit's due. Shadid Saluk, he really taught me a lot of things that I wasn't utilizing. That, like I said, I always tell my God-given attributes, my height, I actually have a lot faster hands than what I showed that night. My athleticism, and we know I can punch. I know I can brawl if I need to go there, but why do that? Why give a guy that's much smaller than me an advantage when I can take advantage of my stature?
Yeah, well, so did you try out a couple different trainers before you decided to go with Shadid?
The boxing community, the boxing circle, if you will, is a small circle. And he was the way it's funny how it works out, but it happened by chance. I was leaving my father's house one night, and he had mentioned, because we were discussing other trainers, he had mentioned, Shadid Saluk's name. I heard it elsewhere from my team, and me and Shadid have been opposed to each other in fights and in sparring. And so, I went home and said, why does his name keep getting brought up? So I went home at night. I was putting my daughter to bed. Long story longer. I went on Facebook and reached out to Deed and asked if we can have a discussion. We exchanged numbers, and the history was made, and we spent about 7 months together before the fight.
You know, a lot of people felt that if you didn't beat Ruslan, that would have pretty much been it for you in boxing. Did you feel the same way? Did you feel that your career depended on getting that victory on Saturday night?
Wait a minute. Do you mean to tell me that I was the underdog in that fight?
Oh, we're going to get to that. We're going to get to that.
Wait. Was I not supposed to win that fight? Hold on. No, I'm just kidding. No, definitely. I know. You know, my whole career has been the underdog. My whole career has been, what John Molina is going to show up tonight. And to me, I never look at it more than what it is, and it being just a fight. I take every fight important because it's how I raise my family. It's how I provide for my family. But to say this fight was more significant than other fights, I wouldn't say that. I take every fight the same way. I knew that the stage was set to shine, and this was going to be my night. Well,
that stage was set to shine, and Ruslan had just entered an exclusive deal with Showtime, and did you spoil all that hype? So what does this mean for you?
Well, for me, you know, I'm with the greatest manager out there in Al Heyman, and I know it sounds cliche, but he really is the best manager. You know, and when I realized that Ruslan was signed with Showtime and had an exclusive contract, I'm actually good friends with Showtime, the network. I fought on their network on many occasions, and I'll fight on any network. But, you know, I pulled a couple of their executives aside and said, you know I got to spoil you guys' party and ruin your party, right? Oh, we know this is a 50-50 fight, John. I said, well, they're not making it sound like that, but I'll show you guys June 11th. Again, I'm not trying to say that I was uber confident in the sense of where I was conceited or cocky, but I was confident in my ability to come out victorious that night.
John, I'm looking at the promotion from the press conference back east to the fight, the media workout here in Los Angeles. It seemed like Provodnikov was almost a little too jovial, like he wasn't taking you seriously. Do you think he was underestimating you before the fight?
No, I looked at that as a sign of weakness. I think he was just trying to psych himself out. I think he knew he was in a real fight. I don't think for any stretch of the imagination that he thought, okay, it's going to be an easy walk in the park. Regardless, they know what I'm about. They know that if all else fails, I can still punch. And if all else fails, I have a big heart and a big chin. So they knew they weren't going to get a walk in the park. I think he was trying to psych himself out and trying to make himself look like, you know, hey, I'm the A side here. I'm the guy that's supposed to win. And that's what I think. You know, I mean, he's a nice guy. Ruslan is not an idiot. He's not a jerk. He's a class act. And, you know, as it should be. You know, outside of the ring, we're not there to fight. But inside the ring, you know, all the friendship goes out the window, as I said in prior press conferences. But, you know, outside the ring, we can be friends or we can go have dinner and, hey, I'll pick up the tab. But, you know, inside the ring is how I feed my family. And to me, you're trying to take away from my family. So I take that very serious.
Absolutely. Also in the post-fight, in some interviews that I've seen of yours, you said that you didn't call out a specific name, but you said that you were interested in title shots at 140. You're even willing to go up to 147. Are there any particular 140s that you are looking at, should that title fight not become available?
I think the right guy at 140 right now, I think I have my sights set on Ricky Burns. And that's a good fight. That's an interesting fight. I think that fight, you know, that's a name that I knew even at 135 that one day we'd cross paths, and now I think the stage is set. He's been saying that he wants to come over to the States and have a big fight. Well, I would love to accommodate him there, and we can do it over here in the States. Do I think he'll come to the States to fight me? I don't know. Like I said, they said he's been wanting to cross over and come over to the United States and have a fight. So if he wants to do it, you know, he knows my management. They know who they need to talk to, and we can make it happen.
That's good. Listen, you were a 14-1 underdog. People were sending you screenshots of their winning tickets. Did you bet on yourself? Did you collect any cuts from anybody?
You know, for me, I'm very fortunate to have the career that I have, and I find it bad luck to bet on yourself. So no, I don't bet on myself when I fight. It's unfortunate, but I don't do it. And I feel like my pay scale and my opportunity that's in front of me is payment enough. You know, the fact that I'm able to provide for my family and the opportunity for the fights after this significant win is payment enough.
You know, I must ask you, they mentioned it on the broadcast, and I had heard that you got a retweet about it, about your Back to the Future inspired ring wear. What's going on with you and Back to the Future? I hear that is a favorite of yours.
Yeah, it's actually one of my favorite movies growing up, my favorite shows. So much so that my 3-year-old daughter knows it and she watches it with me. And I guess you can call me a Back to the Future nerd, but I wanted to be the first fighter to actually do that. And I was. And the fact that Michael J. Fox reached out to me and told me that it was he was impressed with the outfit, impressed with the fight. You know, people don't realize that Michael J. Fox was in the 80s and 90s, he was a huge, huge boxing fan. So I put 2 and 2 together, but behind closed doors, I am a huge Back to the Future fan. And forgive me if it sounds like I'm talking funny. I did bite my tongue in the fight, so I'm trying to walk around. I don't need people saying, "Hey, John Molina sounds punchy now. You can't talk. It sounds like you have a mouthful of marbles."
Oh, he was drunk on the show.
How bad did you hurt your tongue? We saw that the fight recently that Amir Mansour was in. He really messed up his tongue. Is it that bad, or is it minor? How bad is it?
I mean, it's bad where it hurts, but I mean, I can still make a conversation. But like I said, if this is your first time talking to me, you're gonna think, "Oh, geez, he's getting punchy. He better hang it up. He can't put 2 and 2 together anymore."
Well, no, we will not let those rumors hit the street. You heard it here on the Ruckus. John Molina is not punchy. He just has a little cut in the tongue. So you heard it here.
Yeah,
well, John,
it's actually very painful.
You are very cool. I enjoyed interviewing you in LA. You're always a real cool guy and real down to earth. Once again, congratulations on an excellent victory. Way to prevail. Always a gladiator in the ring, always ready to fight and bring the fight to the opponent. It was a pleasure seeing you perform well, and we hope to see you back in the ring real soon.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate the time.
All right. Have a good night.
All right.
You guys too.
All right. We are going to take a quick commercial break, and we'll be back with Jake Donovan.
If you want the best, BoxStats beats the rest. BoxStats is the best boxing app for all you boxing enthusiasts and professional boxers. Perform a quick search and get all the info you want and need. BoxStats, available on the Apple App Store. Download it for free today. BoxStats, know your opponent. When the mind is ready, the body prepares for war. So next time you engage in battle, protect your hands with the best. War Tape, the original branded tape. Order yours now at wartapebrand.com and see why the enemy will fear you. wartapebrand.com. We put hands on you.
And we are back. It's the Ruckus Podcast. It's Jay, it's RB, it's Jake Donovan. So why don't we get into some news with our guy, with Jake's Take.
All right. Well, first up, we finally have resolution on the ongoing court case, 5-year court case, between Canelo Alvarez, Golden Boy Promotions, and All-Star Boxing. The case finally reached a final verdict on Monday evening. Golden Boy was 100% exonerated in the case. They were not found to be guilty of breach of contract. However, Canelo was found guilty of unjust enrichment, in which he is now ordered to pay $8.5 million to All-Star Boxing in damages. Golden Boy and Canelo plan to appeal that decision, but they will have to put up a bond of $12.75 million in order to do so. In the meantime, Golden Boy plans on big time. In the meantime, Golden Boy plans on moving forward with Canelo's career and getting back to business at hand. The first order is, of course, they claim, is contacting Tom Loeffler and K2 Promotions to negotiate a fight with none other than undefeated middleweight champ Gennady Golovkin. Hopefully that fight will happen September 17th. Golden Boy does have a hold on the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, so it is very possible that Canelo fights on that date and that it doesn't come against Gennady Golovkin, who Tom Loeffler has said will fight in August or September with or without Canelo. In other court news, we have DeBella Entertainment and Deontay Wilder filing a lawsuit against Alexander Povetkin and Andrade Verbinski of World of Boxing over the fallout from the May 21st fight that was supposed to happen in Moscow, Russia. Povetkin, of course, tested positive for meldonium, which killed the fight. DeBella and Deontay Wilder are now claiming that in doing so, Verbinski and World of Boxing failed to deliver a product, therefore they defaulted on their contract, and they are seeking damages of at least $5 million. Interestingly, World of Boxing is planning to countersue for $2.5 million unless Deontay Wilder agrees to release the deposit of an amount as held in escrow in case the fight didn't happen, that Deontay's purse would be guaranteed. So that is basically what he's looking for. Deontay was supposed to get at least $4.5 million for the fight, plus there was a 10% win bonus at stake, which would have been $715,000 for the winner. So Deontay Wilder, he's looking to recover from damages from that fight. He's still under depression over it. He said that this was the most down he's ever felt as an athlete, not even just in boxing, just as an athletic, like whether it's football, basketball, or boxing. Even in getting the fight with Chris Arreola for July 16th, when he got home from Sheffield, England, to the United States, it was the first time in his life he didn't want to talk to anyone. He said he didn't even go on social media. He didn't want to mess with him. He was in a state of depression. He didn't feel like Deontay. He said he put so much into his training camp that he felt like a different fighter, that by the time he got home, he felt like a different man. He was just in a state of funk. Now, even with the fight with Arreola, the fight was officially announced today in Birmingham, Alabama. The fight will take place July 16th, PBC on Fox, live from the Legacy Arena in Birmingham. A press conference was held today. Even Deontay walking in, usually when he walks in, the room lights up. He has that multi-million-dollar smile, walks with some swagger. Today he just kind of strutted in, took his seat, was hardly smiling during the press conference. You could just see it, the disappointment of him not being able to go over to Russia. He took tremendous pride in wanting to become the first American ever to defend the heavyweight title in Russia. And he felt that Alexander Povetkin denied him that opportunity by doing what he did during training camp. It's really hit Deontay hard. I've never seen him like this. Towards the end of the press conference, he finally smiled, was finally vibing with the crowd. He's one of the most personable guys in the sport, one of the most genuine, one of the few athletes who actually shows up time for every event, doesn't roll with a big entourage. He respects the sport. He respects the people who invest in his career. He goes out of his way to connect with his audience. So it was strange seeing him this way, but we're looking forward to seeing him on July 16th. So that's pretty much catching everyone up on the news.
So, Jake, how has he been getting through the depression? I mean, he was really down about this. How's he getting through it?
It's funny. I mean, he was asked that question in several different ways, and he told people straight up, you know what, I'm still not over it yet. He still hasn't moved past the fact that he didn't get the chance to fight Alexander Povetkin. I think deep down, if the opportunity was offered to him, I mean, he doesn't want to go through the whole drug scandal again, but he would like to fight him. I think even more so. He'd love to get in the ring and beat on him and make him pay for suffering through all this. But he's telling people he's still fighting through it. He recognizes the fact that Chris Arreola is gunning for his head. Chris Arreola wants to make history. He wants to become the first boxer of Mexican descent to win a heavyweight title. So Deontay respects that, and his exact words were, I got to put on the blinders, I got to just have tunnel vision and focus on Chris Arreola. But in the back of his mind, it still bothers him that, there's unfinished business with Alexander Povetkin. So, like I said, it's just very weird to see him, because every time you talk to him, he's just so jovial. He's been on the Ruckus several times. He lights up the room when he walks in. It's just weird to see him in this state.
We spoke to him, a week or two ago, Jay, when Muhammad Ali passed away. And he came on the show, and, I guess he did sound a little down. We made him laugh a little bit. But, we kind of thought he was just sad that Muhammad Ali passed. But now that, he's admitted today that he's been in, a little bit of a funk, a little bit of depression, it makes sense that, he wasn't so lively. I mean, you could definitely hear it in his voice that it's down.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, the passing of Muhammad Ali, I mean, he touched the lives of everyone. I mean, whether it was people who were around to see him in the 60s and 70s or, just even this generation who wasn't there to experience it, but just hearing the stories from past generations, it's like they kind of experienced Muhammad Ali through, through their parents, through the uncles. And I'm sure Deontay is in that same boat. But it certainly didn't help. And that might have been the first time where he was actually finally starting to talk to people, because he said he came home, it was for like a good week. He just kind of holed up, just locked himself in his house and said, I got to keep to myself. He had to find a way to get to a certain place where he could move on with his own career. And I think landing Chris Arreola for July. It kind of helped him move on a little bit, even more so that he's getting to fight, in Birmingham, which is an hour away from his hometown in Tuscaloosa. There were a lot of cities that were in play. He could have fought in Brooklyn, where he has, he's part of Brooklyn boxing with the Barclays Center. The fight was supposed to be in Los Angeles, Biloxi, Mississippi. Birmingham made a very strong play for this fight, and I think that's kind of therapeutic for him. He's going to walk into that ring in July, and he's going to have thousands of fans, up in attendance. They did a very good job of pricing the seats. The cheapest seats for this fight are $20. So they're really trying to put 18,000 people in Legacy Arena. And I think that's going to help Deontay, too, realizing that the state of Alabama is firmly behind him. And I think, really the sport of boxing is, too, because I said it throughout the press conference today, that my dream fight, everyone keeps talking about Canelo and Golovkin. It's a great fight. It's an amazing fight for the sport. But it's the type of fight where once it happens, all people are going to ask is, what's next? My dream fight is Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. I think that is absolutely – people are talking about boxing's in a funk. That's a fight that could put boxing back in mainstream. That is a fight that I want to see happen. And I will say this, Deontay, he knows it's not going to happen. He would love to, for that fight, he would love to fight Anthony Joshua or the winner of the rematch between Tyson Fury and Vladimir Klitschko later this year. He absolutely wants 3 fights this year. He wants a big-time fight to close out 2016.
Jake, let me take you back to what you said at the top, leading off with the news about Canelo Alvarez. Looking into your crystal ball, if you could see a fight for Canelo, since they do have this date reserved at MGM, who does he get in there with? We know it's not going to be Golovkin. Is it Curtis Stevens? Is it David Lemieux? What would you foresee with Canelo Alvarez?
Those are really the only 2 names that I can think of. And Golden Boy has to be very careful here because they're in a dangerous place. A couple of years ago, when their company imploded, it was like people were starting to root for them again because, all of a sudden they realized, I guess everything that happened between Oscar and Richard Schaefer, they forced Richard Schaefer out, and Oscar got rid of everyone he thought was affiliated with Schaefer. And Golden Boy kind of started over from scratch, and people were rooting for them. They went back to HBO. Canelo went back. Bernard agreed to fight Sergey Kovalev. So it's like, all of a sudden Golden Boy was like in a position. They were kind of the underdog. It's like, okay, let's see if they can get back. They had a monster year in 2015. It was either them or K2 Promotions. Take your pick. One of those 2 were the promoter of the year for 2015. Right. Maybe they were co-promoters of the year. But regardless, Golden Boy was back on top. Now they're the favorite again. Now all of a sudden they don't necessarily handle success the best way. Even like with this lawsuit, they treated it as a victory. Sent out what I feel was a very pompous, press release. Kind of bragging. Tuto Zavala didn't get his way. He didn't get what he thought he was going to get in court. So it's, now all of a sudden people are like, okay, well, they're on top. Now I think people kind of want to see them fall again because every time someone gets to a point of dominance, it's like you want to see someone take them down. So Golden Boy cannot go into September 17th or whenever Canelo fights. We're assuming that's going to be the date. They can't just throw it. It can't be another Amir Khan. It can't be another blatant mismatch. Unfortunately, I don't know how a fight with either David Lemieux or Curtis Stevens will be viewed. But, you look around at the middleweights that are out there. I mean, those are my personal thing. I believe it's going to be David Lemieux. It makes the most sense. He's already with Golden Boy. I know about Curtis Stevens beating Patrick Teixeira. Maybe there's some relationship between Stevens and Golden Boy. I don't know if Golden Boy has options. I do know Main Event said they enjoyed doing business with Golden Boy, so Stevens is possibly in the mix. My bet, I would say, it'd be David Lemieux, but they better be on the phone negotiating a fight with Gennady Golovkin and exhausting every option before moving on to Plan B. People need to hear that they tried their hardest to make that fight happen.
I can't get a word in. Jake's take. Listen, what is up with Luis Ortiz? Where's he been?
Yeah.
That is a very strange situation. Luis Ortiz has already agreed to terms for his mandatory title defense with Alexander Ustinov. They are waiting on a date from HBO, which presumably will be late August, I guess, sometime after the Olympics. It's weird because, like, when Deontay was looking for an opponent, Golden Boy kept saying, we have Luis Ortiz, available. It's like a month ago you said the fight with Alexander Ustinov is a done deal. So now it comes into question. Is it a done deal or is it? I mean, the word I got from both sides is that it is a done deal, but it stinks that, he has to wait on ice because he wants to fight every 3 months. The reality is HBO just doesn't have the money to keep offering dates, to keep these guys as busy as they want to be. So he's going to have to wait until after August because the schedule is full until then.
How about the rumors are circulating out there that Chavez might fight Jalen Love in July or August? Is this another Chavez thing where he's just throwing another name out there like he did with Rosado and this one and that one?
It's a very strong rumor. There was a rumor at one point that July 16th was going to be a split fight doubleheader. Originally, the plan was Wilder and Arreola in Alabama, and then Adonis Stevenson and Thomas Williams in Canada. Obviously, Stevens and Williams has now moved to July 29th. But the one supporting theory was that fight moved because they did want to squeeze Chavez in and somehow make that a split fight doubleheader. Now there's another rumor that, July 16th, the Wilder-Arreola fight might get a strong enough supporting bout to where they don't have to do a split fight. But there's definitely legs to the story that, Chavez might be fighting Jae Love. I don't know why. I mean, it benefits Love way more than it does Chavez. It's a strange fight for him. If he wins, he doesn't move any closer to a title. So he could fight for a title anytime he wants. The guy is banked. So, I mean, it's a dream fight for Jae Love if he wants it.
Yeah, I want to go back to the DiBella and Wilder lawsuit. Why is Lou DiBella involved in this lawsuit with Deontay Wilder?
He has become the promoter of record ever since the PBC has formed. He has promoted Wilder's fight dating back to when Deontay Wilder fought Eric Molina in Birmingham last June. This will be his fourth consecutive fight in which he is at least a promoter of record. Wilder is now on the DDE website. I have to, Deontay Wilder refers to him as his promoter, so I don't know what's on paper. I haven't seen a contract between the two. Then again, I haven't seen a contract between manufacturers and promoters.
What I'm going at with this, Jake, is that if there's paperwork, then I get it. If Lou DiBella is his promoter and there's paperwork, then hell yeah, you guys go in there together and file a lawsuit. So it's a little ironic because, you could be a PBC frontman, but that doesn't mean that those fighters are yours. So in this one, I feel like maybe they have entered something on a contract or something like that where Lou's involved in this lawsuit.
Yeah, there is definitely an agreement in place. Like I said, Deontay Wilder, anytime he talks, it's like he doesn't refer to, a lot of fighters mistakenly refer to Al Heyman as a promoter, I guess, because Al does so much that they feel like he's the promoter. But Deontay habitually refers to Lou DiBella as his promoter. He's done so since the Eric Molina fight last June. And every time there's a Deontay event, there is at least someone from DiBella Entertainment. Lou couldn't be there today, so Kevin Rooney Jr. was there. Ron Rizzo is usually the one that's at these announcement events, and then Lou is is there during fight week. So he's been very active in Deontay's career. It's actually been the one stable element of PBC. It's like all these guys keep getting thrown around. It's like Leon Margulies is your promoter one week, and then it's Tom Brown, and then then it's Lou. Right. It's like Lou and Deontay has been stable ever since for at least the past year.
Yeah, well, I want to.
And then Lou is I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Lou is the one that negotiated the entire way with Rubinsky in making this fight. So even if he wasn't the promoter record, that is why Lou would be named, because his name is on paperwork for every step of the way for when Wilder was supposed to fight for Beckham.
All right, I know we have a few minutes here, but I want to just touch on something. You were talking about Deontay Wilder going through a little bit of depression and being really down, and I think what a lot of fans don't understand is how hard these fighters do take things like this. And it's not a funny matter. It's nothing to joke about. There have been fighters that really do go into deep, deep depressions. I know fighters who have locked themselves in their rooms, who have been in the dark a week after a loss, who can't eat for a couple weeks, after something traumatic happens. Like, it's a real thing. These fighters go through a lot. They're looked at as being warriors and sort of like a horse, like a racing horse, and they're human, and they go through a lot of this. So it's no funny matter, and I bounces back.
No, I totally agree. And Deontay, the way he even put it too, I think the part of him that's feeling empty is that even with them filing the lawsuit, and even if they win the lawsuit and they make $5 million or more out of it, Deontay even said it's not about the money. He has money. He has millions of dollars in the bank or invested or whatever. He doesn't need any more money. He said even with the lawsuit, what he's still not going to have is Alexander Povetkin's name on his record. That he went through so much in this training camp, and he came home empty-handed. He said he would have rather have gone to Russia and got knocked out cold than just come home and not fight at all.
And everybody wanted to see him, in this big step up fight, and everybody, was thinking that Povetkin was such a monster, and he was going to be able to prove that he was the man. And that was kind of.
Yeah. I'm sorry. No, go ahead.
Excuse me?
Well, hey, why don't we get into why don't we get into the weekend fight schedule? We've got about 2 minutes to go. Let's jump into the weekend fight schedule, Mr. Donovan.
Okay, well, the biggest fights this weekend is PBC on NBC live in prime time. Headlining the show, Andrew Fafara returns to Chicago, home of where he fought last October in a Fight of the Year candidate with Nathan Cleverly. This weekend, he fights Long Island's Joe Smith Jr. In the co-feature, a very strong rematch to one of the best fights of 2015, Juan Carlos Payano defends his bantamweight title for the second time. He fights Raushi Warren, the only three-time Olympian in U.S. history. Payano took a very close and debatable split decision last August. They rematch in the co-feature this June. Opening up the show, rising prospect Erickson Lubin in the super welterweight division. He will take on Daniel Sandoval. Over in Mexico on beIN Sports Español, Carlos Ocampo fights Ramses Agaton. And Jose Uzcategui, who was supposed to fight for super middleweight title in April, he now returns from injury. He fights Derek Finley.
Perfect. Well, thank you, Jake Donovan. That was Jake's take, giving us the updates on the latest in boxing news and the weekend fight schedule. Excellent work, as usual. I want to thank our guests, Demetrius Andrade and John Molina Jr., my illustrious co-host, RB. Happy birthday once again. Thank you again, Jake Donovan. We'll be back on Monday with the Morning Punch-In Show at 8 a.m. Monday morning, so make sure you tune in to that. And you all have a great weekend, and a pleasure being with you. Good night.
Good night.
Welcome to Staples.
Hi, Staples guy. We're moving offices, and it's a giant pain in the...
Bubble roll?
What?
Well, Staples has bubble roll, packing tape, all kinds of boxes, everything you need to move, and all at low prices.
Great. That's a giant load off my...
Packing peanuts?
No.
Shrink wrap?
No, but now moving will be a walk in the...
Packing tape?
Sure.
Get low prices on everything you need to move at Staples. And right now, a 3-pack of Smooth Move medium boxes is $12. Staples. Make more happen. Offer ends 6/25/16.
Getting lost in the music is great, except if you're driving. Nissan's available Intelligent Safety Shield technologies could help you avoid bad drivers. Hurry into your local Nissan store and get great offers during the Safety Today event. Or shop ChooseNissan.com today. Now, back to the music.